What are some of the mindset mishaps that result when people misunderstand positivity? What about when people say you should be more positive or have a more positive mindset? How does that make you feel? Depending on how that phrase has been communicated to you in the past and the circumstances surrounding that communication, you may be triggered. Now you can understand when you use either of those phrases with people you are coaching, consulting, or leading, and they get defensive, it simply means they have been triggered. I want you to keep this important distinction in mind as you watch the positive mindset video. As a reminder of the framework and the 5 parts that you want to be listening for when I'm sharing the details of the case study, we'll look at that reminder next. You recently listened to a podcast to hear a positive mindset expert talk about the subject. The expert gave you tips that you can use with yourself, your clients, or your work team. You immediately start using the positive mindset tips, which include glass half full metaphors and be the confidence focused techniques. A week later, you discovered an interesting turn of events. When you addressed the situation, this was a response you received. I feel uneasy inside since we started the positive mindset techniques. I say something positive and then moments later criticize. The more I focus on being positive and constructive, the more negative I become. The result has you confused. You were not prepared for people vacillating between positive and negative behavior. You just listened to that case study and understanding some of the mishaps that happen. Well, in order to investigate it further so that you can learn from those mistakes, you have to be able to apply that 5-part framework, and listening is the first. But after you were listening, what evidence were you able to find out? What evidence? And what attitude was evident? The perspective or point of view. What did you determine was their point of view? What language? What does their language tell you about their mindset? And then who is the person that you found? All right. Have your responses to those questions, and then I'm going to go through and share with you some insight, and we'll see if we matched it up. When you uncover the evidence by applying the 5-part evidence finding framework, it's about then analyzing. Now, you're not analyzing the person or psychoanalyzing, you are analyzing the concepts. It gives you that conceptual understanding. And when you understand the attitude and where that originates, it helps you to then make those subtle adjustments. Now, in psychology, an attitude refers to a set of emotions, beliefs, and behaviors toward a particular object, person, thing, or event. And this was the techniques, applying those positive mindset techniques. And their response was, I feel uneasy. So their attitude is one of uneasiness, which then moves you into their point of view or perspective, is that they feel that they have to be all positive to be normal. And sometimes when you introduce new concepts and the focus is on that positive mindset, they think that they have to be all positive to be normal. Now, the language that they used, uneasy, constructive, destructive, and this is something where it gets you in tune with how they are absorbing this new positive mindset information. Uneasy, constructive, destructive. So you want to key in on that language. Now, did you recognize that person? Well, told that only positive, agreeable people are acceptable. And quite often, this happens with new recruits, people that are coming into a situation, or if you're coaching someone who they're going through something in their life and they want to be more positive. They know that they're just being brought down and there could be something happening in their outer world. And they feel that, oh, they have to be agreeable or acceptable in order to be successful or to be moving forward. And these are the foundation pieces that you have to work with. Now, where does the misunderstanding about positivity and being positive, where does that stem from? Where does the misunderstanding start? Well, it's definitely the meaning that is applied to the word positive. And you have to be positive and a positive mindset. And for some people, it's completely meaningless because your definition of positive is different than theirs, and maybe they're not even concerned about it. And when we're trying to push people into being positive, there is that resistance. So it all comes down to really understanding the definition, but making it meaningful for the people that you coach, consult, you work with, or even for yourself. And sometimes it requires looking at psychology. I want you to think about the people you coach, consult, or lead. What goals do they want to achieve? Now, with this insight, review the wiki site. Remember, I have this available as well as these step-by-step questions and considerations on the PDF document. And toward the end of this video, I'll share with you exactly where you can find that. But this wiki site is free to use, and that way you can develop. Now, as we're moving through this, I want you to look at an approach, a theory that provides a starting place to provide a deeper awareness about positive mindset blocks. So as we move through here, you might stop at the core theory and methods, the 3 paths to happiness. You've got the pleasant life, and yeah, when people want that life of enjoyment, and that might be a goal that they have in mind, and they're not being positive. Right now, they're focused on everything that is not pleasant about their life. However, this is the most transient element of happiness and might be the least important with regards to that focus on a positive mindset. And then we've got the good life and then the meaningful life. Now, this is something where you know your clients, you know what their goals are. And with that in mind, always, you've got to unravel an approach and focus on one aspect that could be the next step to their deeper awareness, and always relating back to the goal that they want to achieve. And then from this insight, you can develop 2 questions. The first to start the session, and the second to move into using the technique. Now that you've developed your 2 questions, your changes in mindset questions, next you want to continue on reviewing the wiki site and still thinking about that goal that you want to achieve, your clients or the people that you're leading. And think about when they don't have a positive mindset, what challenges do they experience? And conversely, when they do have a positive mindset, what benefits will they experience? And remember, I've got these step-by-step questions and considerations on that PDF document for you. And toward the end, I'll share with you exactly where to find that. Because what you have to do is always keep in mind specifically the goals, the people, the challenges, the benefits, because techniques, you always want to make them specific for the outcome that you want to achieve. And then what you're going to do is take one of the theories. All right, we've already looked at the 3 paths to happiness for those questions. However, you might change things around, but then you can look at possibly character strengths and virtues, and looking at the 6 virtues and 24 strengths. And this is something where people always, they don't always have to be positive, but they can't go down the rabbit hole of having negativity rule their life. And this is where, if they want to focus on their strengths and virtues, this might be a great adaptation that you can use when you're developing your unique technique, because the technique should address the challenge or support the benefit. And flow is another great one as well. So when you are reviewing this, keep those in mind. Now, I've mapped everything out for you. My token of appreciation for spending this time with me. So you just got to visit my website, louiseandmaurice.com, click on free, then empowered mindset, and then locate the positive mindset PDF document to download. It's free, no email address is required. And as we continue on, just a little reminder, if you're not a subscriber, how you can subscribe.